What up, though, everybody? It's Chris Platte, a.k.a. Here, I'll let you go ahead and do that. All right, I'll take two. What up, though, everybody? It's Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pods. We are back for another overrated, underrated, properly rated, and this time I got 1800 CEO Jayleno in the building. The king of the side quest, man. Shout out to you big time for all of these.
Yes, sir.
This one, I feel like we did artists. I feel like this one was pretty easy for me. I can't wait to lock in and see. So where do you want to start this time? Do you want to start peaceful? Do you want to start properly rated? Do you want to start optimistic, underrated? Or do you want to just start with the hate, overrated?
Let's do. You know what? We on a positive vibe. You know, it's the summertime. Let's do underrated albums.
Okay, let's
I
do.
I got two, so I hope you got two. I know you do.
I could go 2 for 2.
So do you want to go first this time?
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Let's switch it up. All right, so for underrated albums, so I had where'd I have it? Damn, I am trying to find my list. Why don't you go first? While I'm trying to figure out my list. My bad.
All right, cool. I'll go first on my first one. I'm gonna go with Young Thug. I'm going with Punk. I feel like So Much Fun was like so much fun for those who fuck with Thug. I feel like it was like one of those mainstream albums. It was his first album that he actually had officially album. And I feel like Punk was different. It had a lot of rock, R&B, melodic vibes. We had, Insure My Wrist with Gunna, People Through the Window with Future, Love You Run with Nate Roos from Fun with Gunna. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a lot of, dropping the, I think it was Dropping the Jewels. A lot of, I'm looking on here, like, Contagious, Recognize Reals. It was so Young Thug to the point, Faces, can't forget Faces. It was like.
Faces was crazy.
It was so dope for him doing that type of album. And the album came out before he got locked up. He went to jail like right after the album dropped. So I think the album being, kind of pushed away as his case started and whatnot. But I think a lot of hits on there. It was a good album, good features. I think it was smooth out of, still some hits on there too. You play Today still probably. So that was a good one for me. And then my second one, you're going to hate this one, but.
All right, let's hear it.
Meek Mill, Wins and Losses. And I feel like this is right after Drake ruined his career. I feel like this is right after Drake ruined his career, But he had We Ball, I think Meek Mill is a great rapper. I don't think, I don't know what he does, as an off the, mic, but, 1942 flows, whatever you need, We Ball, Connect the Dots, Save Me. Like, I think it was such a great album for him. But given what happened before that album, you couldn't enjoy it as much as a fan because Drake has ruined a lot of niggas. Yeah. But Meek Mill got the worst, probably, Drake stimulus beef package ever.
Yes, absolutely. He got the worst.
I feel like that, and he followed up with championships, was great. But I feel like wins and losses would have hit any other year if him and Drake didn't have that beef. So
I don't disagree. with that. I mean, despite
it's just hard to enjoy it,
opinions of it. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like we're not gonna, act like narratives and stuff don't have their power. I mean, we just seen it play out for the last couple of years
with Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I think that's very fair. That's very fair to me when you talk about like an album like that. That even though I'm not positive to it, I do understand and accept that there are several people that could be influenced by that, and maybe even partially me. But to be honest, I try my best to kind of remove those things. But at the end of the day, we all have our biases. And I definitely was picking Aubrey over me.
Yeah, it's just hard to it's Drake. You can't. Yeah. Once Drake says "fuck you" or like "don't play this motherfucker," like it's hard to be like.
It's hard, bro. Yeah. You have to come back with something
unless you're Kendrick or Jay-Z or someone on that level. Yeah. The fans and the people are not gonna be like, well, fuck Drake, I'm gonna still play him. Like, it's just not gonna be the same.
Yeah, because you lost the battle to the popular kid. Like, you can't like it's there's too much of an uphill battle. Yeah. One I have, and it's a mixtape. And I think this is a deep pull, but I think this is a Chris Platte pull. Dave East, Kyrie Chanel.
Okay,
that was
you've been on a Dave East train a lot. Okay,
yeah, he was one of my. I mean, if you met me like 7-8 years ago when Kyrie Chanel came out, or actually 10 years ago. Wow, it's a 10-year anniversary. That was my introduction to Dave East, And I was blown away by that project. Like, that project, the special ingredients that it had everything. It had great storytelling records. It had a rapper rapping on hooks that was so refreshing. It had great features. Shout out to 2 Chainz, shout out to Beanie Siegel, shout out to Fab.
Shout out Beanie Siegel.
It was a great game. It also had a great feature on there too. It was just like a great rap performance. He did a great job of towing that line to the point where when I heard that, I was for the next 3 to 4 years, because it took a minute for Survival to happen. I was like, every next up conversation, I was throwing Dave East in there. I was that guy that was like, okay, we could talk about whoever you want coming up, but like, you got to include that guy in it, because he had it all to me. He had the complete package. And that album or mixtape was so special to me. Like, when I talk about the balance it had the girl records, it had the storytelling records, it had the rap shit, it had just a lot of motivational shit. It was very personal album. It was just so great, man. I think that is a, like, if you ask me where I put that project all time, the answer I have would shock you, because that is how highly regarded. Yeah. That is how highly regarded I have that project, man. I mean, you have the emotional moments of like "Don't Shoot" at the end, which was just insane storytelling. You have just right off the rip, it was written like, leaning into the whole Nas shit. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. It's a great mixtape. Any hip hop head, I think, will truly, truly love that mixtape. And it's still, to this day, it still sounds good. There's some shit that sounds like it's 2016, but for the most part, that shit still sounds good today. I still listen to that shit today. Matter of fact, I went on a binge where I was listening to that for a couple weeks earlier this year, and it's a 10-year-old project. So shout out to Dave East. That was one that I really, really wanted to highlight, because I feel like that is something that like is just phenomenal. Just a phenomenal body of work. Can't say enough good things about it. If I have to do another underrated that I can't probably deliver as passionately as that one, is I'm caught between a few here, and if I have to pick one, if I have to pick another underrated, I will go with JID The Never Story. I'll go with that. I think that was one, and that may be properly rated. That may be me, it's all opinion, defending it. But I think that album, when you showcase the storytelling on there, the rapping ability, and not to mention, I think this is one of, if not the best, bar none, spoiler alert, because I know we're going to do this in a separate video.
Facts.
The best melodic performance from a rapper I've ever heard in Hereditary. I think that JID just flashed the complete package on that project, and that is another one. I think that was a 2017 project. That was another one that just like completely blew me away, man. Front to back is completely underrated in my opinion. I think it's got everything you're looking for in hip hop, and that's where I like a body of work that showcases the versatility, the layers. Like, can you do this? Can you do that?
Right.
And I think that JID on The Never Story did that. So those are two.
Facts. Those are two. Well, that takes us to the next one, which is overrated albums, right? I have two for those. You got two for those?
Let me see how many I have. I believe I have two.
Yeah, I got two.
Oh, I got two.
Okay, I got two.
Yeah,
okay, you got two. Excited right there. But I'll do my two. So my first one is a mixtape. Acid rap. All you motherfuckers who out here talking about this acid rap shit, like nobody plays that shit anymore. Like C3, Coloring Book, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that shit still gets played. No one fucking plays acid rap anymore. So all you chance rappers, you had a fucking chance, now the chance is fucking over. You don't, that album, that mixtape is not his best. I I've never gotten that. And I mean, I was there when it dropped. Like I just don't get it because it didn't do the damage that C3. It didn't do that type of damage. Like it just didn't.
But you have those people that just say it's a classic, and I had that as one of mine. So I'm glad it's not one of my two that I was looking at.
But I know how you feel about that.
I wrote it down. Like that whole na shit. Like get the fuck up out of here. I think that Acid Rap is one of those albums where I try to be fair. I genuinely kid you not. I've given that album front to back at least 10 listens because I respect enough people that praise it so highly that it makes me go back and say, what am I missing? And every single time, I still feel the same way. I still feel like it's so unpolished. I feel like his voice is way more annoying than it is on Coloring Book. I think he greatly refined his voice for Coloring Book. And obviously, he stepped up the production, had better features too. Overall, it's just a much better body of work. But you don't even see, in my opinion, like what Chance has showcased recently with his last album, Starline, that he's an absolutely phenomenal writer. He can rap his ass off, all of those things. I don't even see those really in Acid Rap either. Like I don't see
it's one of them things where niggas be saying like, you know, like how people love 2016 as a whole year.
Yeah.
That's legit. I get that.
Yes.
But like the way y'all love that album to me is just bonkers. The next one's not as bad, but this one is just fucked up. Number 2, these two rappers carried COVID. They carried the fuck out of COVID.
Okay.
I love their projects during COVID. I had no issue. But all you niggas trying to be the voice of the streets and the heroes and all that Lil Baby and Durk collab album was dog shit. The way people were waiting for that album to come out and, you know, I'm the voice, I'm the hero, whatever the fuck he said he was, that shit was ass. It wasn't saving no kids. It wasn't saving no families. It was the worst collab album I've heard in years. Given how, because I think just because y'all waited, 2 came out in COVID. What was Baby's album that came out?
My Turn?
Yeah, My Turn came out during COVID or right before COVID.
Right as COVID.
How the fuck do you fail with that album? Like, it just wasn't. It doesn't have.
Durk was on fire. Like it was a home run from like a label perspective.
Yeah, from a marketing, it was easy.
Yeah.
But like the playback value in the hits, like they don't have any.
I like there's one of those ones where Baby has a tough ass verse. I'm trying to remember.
But like, am I tripping with that though? Like, I just don't hear it no more. Like, I don't.
No, okay, I will say, I don't know how it's rated.
Sorry,
I don't know how it's rated, but I will say that it for sure 1,000% under delivered.
The way it was built up was like, okay, we got the 2 hottest rappers out right now, like, and they were at the time. They had a mixtape.
No, for sure. It should have been something. It's definitely it's at the very least it was underwhelming.
Facts. Okay. I'm not tripping.
I don't know because to your point, I don't hear anybody talk about it. So maybe it's not overrated. Maybe it was just supremely underdelivered because I don't hear people like champion that album at all now that I think about it. And it had man, I'm trying to remember the one verse on it that Lil Baby had that was tough as fuck.
Yeah, you let me know because I'm still looking for it. I'm still confused. It's been 5 fucking years.
I'm gonna tell you it right now as I look this up. Voice of the Heroes. No, not the voice. Jeez, Voice of the Heroes. All right, it's not Hats Off. That's Facts. Lil Baby's verse on that.
I'll play that one in the car when I go home. I'll follow up with that.
That was tough, but that's it. That's the only thing. And like I was still kind of in my Travis Scott phase, so I didn't mind Hats Off, but like really listen to it now, not it. So that's a great poll. That's a great poll because if it is being respected, it needs to be disrespected. That shit was a complete underdeliver. I love that one.
Okay.
I love that one.
What you got? What you got, man?
I got
you too excited for this one. I don't know about this. Too excited.
I got 2 legends in the sights right now. I got 2 absolute legends in the site right now. Two of the absolute titans, 2 of the absolute pillars in our thing we call hip hop. I'm just debating which one. All right, let's get the easy one out the way. The Slim Shady LP. That shit
Marshall
is not that good. I don't like I try to be fair. I try to give an album multiple listens, and then I'll even give it years apart and I'll go back to it. I looked at my notes. The last time I went back and listened to this album was 2023. I was, almost a decade into covering hip hop at that point.
Okay.
And I still went back and gave it a chance because I'm like, maybe, just maybe, I'm not giving it a fair shot. And shout out to Money Murr because that was the person that was in my ear telling me to go listen to it again. But it's just like, it's just, if I wanna keep it real with you, like, it doesn't have the same level of rapping ability, of punchlines. It doesn't have the production. No offense to Dr. Dre, one of the.
Let me go see what's on that album too. So I'm a Marshall guy. Let me double check.
There's just this figuring it out phase that Eminem is still in, and I get that it's different. I get that it's different in that time, and I'm trying to give it the context of that. But even then, it's still not the Eminem that you see. And so for people to say, like Money Murr, as he was dapping us and leaving, he goes, the greatest 3-run album history is the Slim Shady LP. Yeah. Like,
you're 100% right, because I had my albums confused and mixed up. That's not the third. That should not be where they start at. He started Marshall Mathers, anything.
Yeah,
but
if
not
anything. Start at
100%.
Yeah, that is not. Yeah, and I hate that it's get put, because I think those other two albums are phenomenal. But that album does not belong in that tier. That is not no holy trinity to me. I understand that a lot of people love that, but like I mean, you can hear the Tupac impersonation on there. You can hear him figuring it out. And look, I'm not killing him. He's a new artist. He's a new artist at that point. He is just trying to find his way. So I'm not shitting on Eminem whatsoever in the artist that he is. But when you look at that body of work and the fact that I see it on every fucking top 100 list of all time, it doesn't belong anywhere near there. Not even close. Not even close, in my opinion. No disrespect to the rap god Marshall Mathers, but
no, you cook with that one. I'm an Eminem guy. That's my favorite rapper. So you cook with that one.
I just feel like it just doesn't have what it is backed behind in terms of the people's comments and sentiments about that album. Because look, like I wasn't gonna say it off rip, but like the hooks are atrocious on there. But you don't go to an Eminem album for hooks, so I get that.
Yeah.
But like everything about it,
the next 3 albums are way better. Because I think Marshall Mathers had Stan on there and whatnot. Like,
yep.
Now, you didn't talk about that 3-album run with that, the Eminem show and Encore and whatever. Yeah. All right, cool.
I know people hate on Encore, but I think
Encore was a banger.
I think Encore is better than Slim Shady LP.
Yeah, Encore's
because
a banger.
Eminem didn't know who he was then. He was still
that had Mockingbird, right?
That had Mockingbird. That had Like Toy Soldiers. That had Never Enough.
That's a banger.
That had the Michael Jackson diss record.
Yeah.
No,
that's a good one though. I fuck with that one.
Yeah. So that's one legend I had to kill. The other legend I had to kill, and shout out, he just recently made a lot of headlines. Had a fantastic weekend.
Oh my God,
Mr. Sean Carter, Reasonable Doubt.
I know where you're going with this. That shit is ass. Be honest, people. That shit is not that good. Continue. You know how I feel about that album.
I even listened to it again one more time today. I've listened to this out again. I promise you, I don't speak on the album, at least disrespectfully, unless I've heard it several times. Or I preface it, this is my first time listening to it. Shout out Habib T.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
But this album, Reasonable Doubt, is... to me, it's so overrated because even its shining moments to me are very good, but not great or spectacular. Like, you want to talk about the Big song? Big completely overshadows you. Like, I don't know how Money Murr can talk about Jay-Z the way he talks about and then talk about Biggie the way he talks about Biggie, because that record right there just shows you that there was just levels at that point between Jay-Z and Biggie. Biggie completely sunned him on his own record. And I think that I will say it doesn't have a bad record on it, but it just doesn't. The moments don't stand out. They don't stick the way classic albums. And look, I'm not I was born in 95. So I had to go back and do my history on some of these albums. And I'll go back to albums in the 80s. And I will still genuinely enjoy some of their hits that are beloved more than this. Like a random one, just off top, a random one that I'm thinking about from that era is the Digital Underground Tupac song. Not I Get Around, not the one with Pocket Soul. What's the one that's his breakout song?
Tupac?
Yeah. It's his breakout song while he's with Digital Underground before he goes
I Get Around?
No, before he goes solo.
Humpty Dump, is it the Humpty Dump song?
Same Old Song or something like that?
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Something like that. I like that song better than any song on this Reasonable Doubt, and that goes to show you that I'm trying not to be like I understand that I'm not of that era, that I wasn't outside, quote unquote, when this album came out, but to me personally, it just doesn't have those standout moments. It has records that are very good, like Devils is very good. Like that's a song I like. The 222s is a great record.
If I'm not mistaken, like on that
nothing
album,
is spectacular about it. That's my thing.
Yeah,
it's a very solid album.
Cannot the Hustle's a good song, but it's just like he has so many other great albums.
Yes.
To where that one should not be the one that's so
propped up,
critically acclaimed as like one of the greatest debut albums ever. Like I just don't. I mean, it could be top 10, maybe top 15, but like. Niggas be having that shit like number one. Like that's like the Jay. That's the real Blueprint Jay-Z album. If anything, the way people like talk about it.
The way people like go, you have to mention Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint together. No, the fuck you don't. Not in my opinion. This is just my opinion, but
you cooking this episode, man.
I genuinely don't believe that is a I think it's a good album. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just not this spectacular album. I look at every single classic album that I deem a classic, or that enough of the public deems a classic, and they all have standout moments. And to me, when I listen to this, like it just doesn't have that standout moment. Like Low End Theory,
I'm with that.
Low End Theory has Scenario, or whatever record you want to pull, or like 3 Feet High and Rising has Me, Myself, and I. Like there's nothing about this that like I see as a complete standout record. Even the very good moments that I like, again, are very good. But nothing is spectacular about it. So why is this album regarded as one of the best hip-hop albums ever? It boggles my mind that he did a stadium to this, playing this album.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went that day. I just don't think that's like the.
Yeah, I would have won Blueprint.
It's cool, but like I can name you 3 Jay-Z albums that are better than that.
Exactly, and that's my point. My point. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's overrated.
All right,
but that was it.
That goes into the final one, which is was it properly rated? I got 3.
Okay, go ahead.
They're newer. I'll do 3. So my first one is, man, this guy right here. He hasn't had a hit song since the goddamn album shit. But Mr. Roddy Ricch, I feel like Please Excuse Me and Antisocial was like the epitome of what a good album was at the time in 2019. A lot of great songs. Even the hits that weren't typically singles were hits. Like I feel like people played that shit. It was one of the best debuts I've seen, in my older years of, living. So that was good. My second one, God Rest His Soul, was Pop Smoke. I think his first album, not the deluxe, but that was good too. Right. But I think it was Shoot for the Stars, Shoot for the Stars, whatever the fuck it was.
Shoot for Stars, Aim for the Moon.
Yeah, that was perfect. I think 50 Cent did a great job helping with that album. I still play to this day. And during COVID, this is all on the same time. Actually, if you look at the albums I just named or listed, but Just Cause Y'all Waited Too by Lil Durk was probably his best project like ever. I deluxe, whatever, regular version, like All Love, The Night in UK, Pass the Water, fucking whatever, Internet Sensation, 248. Like I just feel like during those times when those albums dropped, because Roddy came out in December 2019, Durk came out spring, COVID, and then Pop came out that summer. So I feel like those albums were just perfect at that time.
Yeah.
So I know they're newer, but I still play those 3 albums, and I think those are like the great albums by like their best from each artist that came out.
And I don't think anybody tries to put them in a tier or a weight class that they don't belong.
Yeah, I think they're just
really, really solid bodies of work. I like that. Especially, please excuse me for being antisocial. I think that's a phenomenal point. My album that everybody in the world has gotten right, and it's easy, it's right there, is Watch the Throne.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Because it's one of those albums. See, look, I give some hate and I give some love, Jay. Rock Nation, don't kill me.
Please don't.
But I think that Watch the Throne is one of those records where it's like everybody talks about it as the bar for a great collab album. Like this is bar none the greatest rap collab that we have seen yet, and every collab album is trying to reach that level.
Facts.
And I think that is 100% correct. You cannot argue a single collab album that is better than Watch the Throne. You just can't. You absolutely can't. So I think that it is very properly rated for what it is. And I think it's an absolutely special body of work. So I think that Watch the Throne is very properly rated, because I see people that glaze it. I very rarely see people that hate it. I see a few, but everybody's got grifters.
You can't really hate that album, man. It's a song for everybody on that shit.
Shout out my OG Justin Hunt. He made a take that I just completely disagree with, but I understand what he's saying. I just disagree with it.
Okay.
Is that he said that it's the most tone deaf album in the history of music because it was during the Great Recession. So everybody's just talking about luxury rap. It's luxury rap while everybody's in a recession. And I'm like, that kind of makes it harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not. That kind of made that shit kind of tough.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit kind of makes it harder.
Yeah,
even though, as somebody that didn't have it at that time, my dad got laid off. It was some dicey times, but I think that is a flex rather than a knock.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
And then the last one I'll give is and I wish he was here, but just that he had to eat crow again. But Life After Death, the fact that it is on every single list, it is so widely regarded, widely respected. I have all of the praise for it in the world. It's a double album, so to make people listen to 30 songs straight, or I think
in the 90s too, at that, no streaming, just you sitting there with your cassette tape and
you have to physically flip sides of the vinyl or the cassette tape,
press play,
you have to manually do some labor to listen to this album, and it still just hits to this day. I think that is a phenomenal front to back album that has no weaknesses. And I see it properly rated, in my opinion, because it's on every greatest album of all time list. It's somewhere on there, always, every single time. And I think that is completely justified.
I agree.
It's so hard to do a double album. We're seeing it. We're seeing it today with artists trying to do double albums. And it's very tough. He did that shit, and he did that shit flawlessly. Insane, man. It's on any given day you can argue with me that is the best album of all time, and I will be very hard to make a counterpoint to it. It is that damn good. So
you are cooking. You are on fire right now. That was a good one though. Hey, I feel like people
came to the gym.
Like I said to you off the camera, I think he is the greatest, rapper ever. I still stand to say that. But given was that 97 when it dropped, I think, or whatever year?
Yeah, 97.
Yeah, it's no streaming. It's no Apple Music or Spotify. You have to go buy it, put it in your car, your record player, your radio, and you have to just sit there. You have to want to play it. And people, to this day, 30 years later almost.
Still do. And that's what I'm saying. Even the new kids, I don't see the new kids disrespecting that album.
They don't, because because it's a song for every person on there. You want to talk about hardcore rap, talking shit, the R&B samples, the Diana Ross shit,
Yeah,
bro. It's timeless.
Diana
101.
Ross samples.
It's 101.
Shout out to Biggie, man. But that will do it for overrated, underrated, properly rated albums. We did artists as well. This will be a series. Look, we could go back in the back. Again, I have a shit ton in my notes that I still didn't get to. So we'll definitely be back doing a sequel of this. But until then, Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what you thought was the best album take that we had today. What is overrated? What is underrated? What is properly rated? Let us know in the comments below. What would you like us to talk about on the next video? This is 1800 CEO Primetime Jayleno. I'm Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pods. This is another Rap K podcast side quest. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.